Synchronicity University is where the most trusted and celebrated names in astrology today come to teach. These programs coming up in November are choose your tuition rate for a very limited time at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Hello, fabulous superstar Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. This is a very special time. There are big celestial events taking place pretty much right out of the gate. And it's hard to believe that eclipse season isn't just the least of it. I mean, there are such huge things happening that I think this entire month may end up feeling like eclipse season in one way or another. And so let's take it one at a time. The part of the sky most lit up, although there are other areas of energy, absolutely, and we'll talk about them as well, but really the area of the most energy takes place in a financial part of your sky. So this is money you earn, money you spend, but a lot of Virgos won't necessarily feel this energy financially, maybe oriented towards a sense of self-love, self-esteem, illuminating, expanding, growing for you in some way now. On the 4th of the month, we get Mars meeting the south node in this part of the sky. When a big planet meets the south node, it is an important moment when, as I spoke of in my book, The Universe is Wise and Loving, it's like a doorway opens. And that's the thing with the nodes. When it's the north node, that doorway opening brings new in. But when it's the south node, that doorway opening provides an exit of people, places, things, situations that need to go. But the going is a blessing. In some cases, a massive blessing, especially at a time like this. Chances are things will move very quickly at this time. There's a lot of adrenaline with Mars. And so, yes, there could be some very quick changes happening, but very soon, if not in the moment, you realize that what's happening is actually really good. And so either this is going to represent a different understanding of what you would rather be doing in terms of your income, in terms of your prosperity. It could be just a whole other way of defining prosperity that starts to have its seed. But it's also possible here that it, again, isn't about money, but it's a lot more about you understanding blockages where it comes to self-love and self-esteem, and they leave you very quickly. And that changes so much for you inside out very quickly at this time. But the thing is, as we navigate forward on the 10th of the month, that is when Pluto will go direct, meaning that because Pluto already moves so slowly, Pluto is appearing to stand still in the sky pretty much all month. But it's that day of the station of Pluto shifting directions where that Plutonian energy is that much more magnified for you in a heart-oriented part of the sky. What your heart wants is going to feel very on the surface now. There is this profound desire and intensity and focus on your understanding of happiness and how your heart really feels, and what you believe is going to make you happy. All of that stirring powerfully comes right forward in important ways, not only because of Pluto going direct, although that is a really big deal, but the fact that on the 14th we have a solar eclipse. That solar eclipse is in that financial part of your sky. Now, part of what makes this eclipse so important is that it is close in the sky to Mercury and to Mars, but it's also square Pluto. And so you can see how things really start to come together with these different huge forces in the sky. It's a solar eclipse, meaning new beginnings. However, this is where the south node is. And so along with that sense of closure is that sense of excitement and a determination for things to be different, for things to be new in some way. It is very important with a sky like this to trust your life. And that's the thing with eclipses in general. You don't want to hold on too tightly to any person, place, thing, or situation. Whether it's coming or going, it really is okay because it's about aligning you with that sense of greater blessings than you knew before. And so stay open to the prospect. It is especially once we get to that eclipse that things really accelerate and move very quickly. However, in the days following the eclipse, we get the sun and Mercury meeting the south node. We get all three connecting intention with Pluto. And so you can see here, so much is happening. And there's this sense that things are changing from the inside out, from the root up. And along with it, there are very strong emotions for you at play that are guiding some of the big choices that you're making. You know, last month I told you we had one of the more fortunate retrograde, Mercury retrograde seasons rather, that I'd seen in a while. And there was that very fortunate new moon that took place in your sky as well. All of that is wonderful. But fascinating is this eclipse season is one of the more intense eclipse seasons that I have seen in a while as well. And when I see that kind of intensity, it means that something's got to give, something's got to change. It means that life is happening in important ways. And it's important to trust, to stay open to it. Because when it is that you align with the spiritual intention of the soul, external circumstances have a way of calming right down because you're focused on what life is really supposed to be about the soul's growth. And from that perspective, what stays is good. What leaves is good too. On the 28th of the month, we get a lunar eclipse, bringing the larger eclipse season to a close. This lunar eclipse takes place in a worldly part of your sky, having to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, and legal matters are covered here, along with a greater sense of clarity as to where you're supposed to be in the world metaphorically, your relationship to the world, the political, philosophical, and spiritual beliefs that guide your life. Well, this lunar eclipse is hand in hand with Jupiter. There's lots of blessings here, but it's also across the sky from Mars and Mercury. So chances are the blessings open up based on you needing to respond very quickly to a set of circumstances. Now, a lot of this is going to be rooted in information that finds you, but also very quickly becoming very clear of where you want to be or supposed to be. Now, again, that where could be a metaphorical space within yourself, but I think that for many Virgos, it's going to be quite a literal space as well. Lunar eclipses bring with them karmic closures. If it is that you're involved in a legal matter, that could end very quickly at this time. You get the news, you have to respond very quickly, and it comes to a close. It may be now if you are engaged in an institute of higher learning or travel, for example, those environments and experiences can be very profound for you in how it is that they, on the one hand, evoke and provoke you, but have you respond as well. And I think they'll help you to bring forward things that you like very much. They change your understanding of the world around you in a way that likely will stay with you navigating forward from here. Now, the fact that Jupiter is hand in hand with this eclipse, I can't help but come back to this idea of closure and blessings being hand in hand with a month like this. Lunar eclipses are closure. But Jupiter, of course, is blessings, in some cases, big blessings. So it's going to magnify that sense of faith and philosophy and belief that for you, to support you, to encourage you in the best possible sense. And you're going to feel a sense of expansion, like the world is opening up for you, perhaps quite literally at a time like this, where you thought you were supposed to be in the world, may not be it anymore, but that's part of the excitement of this time. Now, where it comes to matters of love, on the 9th of the month, that is the big news. And I know I've been mentioning this. I've talked about this going all the way back to the spring. I know I have. Venus enters your sign. We're finally done with the larger Venus retrograde season. Technically, the Venus retrograde season is done on the 7th, but we're likely going to feel it right into the 9th. It's as soon as Venus enters your sign that the energy really shifts in the context of love and heart, profoundly and importantly so. And so there's this sense of connection to sweetness and light within yourself, sense of openness on a level of love, wanting to share love. And the energy of Venus is one that also brings with it real connection, or at the very least, desire to. Venus does make you a magnet. And so it allows you to attract experiences that affirm love in your life. Now, the added layer is that Pluto going direct in that heart-oriented part of the sky. That part of the sky, in addition to what I mentioned, has to do with the romance and flirtation. And flirtations can be profoundly transformative for you now. For those of you open to meeting someone new, what a powerful symbol to have this station, Pluto, direct right as Venus enters your sign. I think it's going to feel like love can finally move forward. Perhaps after a period of feeling stagnant, after wondering where that person went, what happened, or feeling as if you're feeling things, but you can't announce it to the world. The person that you want to be with isn't around. These are the types of experiences that some Virgos have had with that extended Venus retrograde season in the sign just before yours. So that really starts to change for you now in important ways. And I think that you'll enjoy that a lot. And so here we are. We get this powerful energy of Venus and of Pluto coming together for you. That sense of magnetism that you have is that much stronger, but it comes hand in hand with you likely feeling very pulled on a heart level towards a rather intense experience that ends up being very meaningful to you, perhaps serving as a catalyst moment towards more sweeping change. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, once Venus enters your sign and Pluto goes direct, I think it's almost as if stuff that you hadn't seen, you didn't know, or maybe it was right there, you just didn't want to acknowledge, all of it becomes very clear and you feel it. You feel all of it. And either you feel it in a way that bonds you to this person, or you feel it in a way that makes you say, you know what? This ain't it. This ain't the path for me. Either really is okay. You will know the right answer for you and the truth for you as well. With Venus in your sign, there will be lots of potentials out there. And so there's really no need to worry. As soon as it is that you realize what you want to do with this one person, and if that's not moving in that direction, well, other options open up for you very quickly. For those of you in an established bond, well, I do think that Venus entering your sign really helps you to feel more loved. It can feel as if love is sort of on your side, easier to navigate with this person that you love. Pluto going direct really helps you to look at what love is for you. That's what it comes down to. What is love for you? And do you have it? Where you have it, well, this time will make that love feel that much stronger. You'll be that much more grateful for the love you share with the person that you love. However, if you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, maybe you've had some experiences that really have made you question that, this is where all of those feelings come right to the surface. And you're really having to look at what you feel and what's keeping you where you are and whether or not what you've been perceiving is reasonable or not. Either you're going to clear the air, or this is really where you start to sense that maybe there's another way for you in a different direction. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say Venus entering your sign. It's a huge astrological month. The thing I really want you to remember more than anything else is when we have such strong financial energy, it means that the money you need is there. Sometimes you're learning powerful spiritual lessons as part of it coming together for you, but the money you need is there. And so trust your lessons at this time if the energy wants to show up for you financially, but that might not be the case at all. It may very well show up for you in terms of understanding how to love yourself more profoundly and ways that are more meaningful to you. Those lessons, those changes likely will stay with you for a very long time to come. Well, thank you so much for watching. Do you know about Superstar? NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each week for each sign for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate. Higher tiers are also available, which give you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below.